gifts.
Yeah. But did I ever tell you about the gift? I think my father's favourite gift he ever received one Christmas. It was and I was so jealous of it because I was a kid and I thought this is amazing. Probably about 10.
Right.
And I thought this was dynamite. I was so jealous. It was a reversible jacket.
What happened to them?
Well, I know. I mean, they were all the rage for about 25 minutes, and it was but what was great about it is it seems to me with a reversible jacket, what you want, say, checks on one side, and just say plain blue on the other. So it completely looks like a completely different jacket.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, obviously a little bit cheaper, Mum not splashing out a huge amount. It was it had a beige body and white arms.
Yeah.
Turned it inside out, beige arms, white body. It looked almost identical. And I could never quite understand when he was ever going to utilise that. When people would think, do you know what I mean? When he'd walk to a party, they'd say.
Well, I think it was having two jackets in one that was the buzz, not there. So he'd go into a party, and I go, all right, Ron, new jacket. He goes, yeah. Notice before I go to the toilet that this is a beige body with white arms. Yeah, all right, whatever. One. No. But when I come down, notice that when I came in, I was wearing a jacket that had a beige body and white arms. You got that? Yeah, right, yeah. He comes down, I go, remember that jacket I came in wearing? Yeah, the beige body, have another look. Have another look. That's what,
wait a minute, that must be a completely different jacket.
It is a completely different
jacket. You must be one of the richest men in Bristol.
But hold on, but you weren't carrying anything, you didn't have a bag or anything? No, well, okay, if you must say it's a reversible jacket, alright? It's the best. But
the only idea of a reversible jacket must be so that people think that you've got two jackets. That's the whole point, surely.
I know.
I don't understand what's the appeal otherwise.
One black, one white, one furry, one. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so reversible, that's why they died out.
Yeah, clearly.
Like the dinosaur. Like the dinosaur, Karl, we didn't need them.
Didn't need them. Still be here if we needed them. Well, they're bringing back a mammoth, though, aren't they? So,
yeah, they are bringing back a mammoth.
Thing. Well, listen, you know, we're chatting about presents and all that, and before my little thought of the day about...
It was a little thought.
Just, you know, cheer someone up if you can.
Brilliant.
Right?
I mean, it's a nice sentiment, but it's... Yeah, okay, go on.
Well, there's an old woman, right, who lives next door... Who lives next door to my mum and dad, right? And this is what I mean about, you know, the old people. They might not have that many people cheering them up this time of year. So, you know, if you can, get them a little gift and that, because what happened was, this old woman living next door to my mum and dad.
How old are you?
This was only about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right? And, you know, I think her son's left home, doesn't keep in touch, you know. Doesn't even phone her, I don't think, and that, right? Quite sad. And, I thought I'll give her a bit of my time, have a chat with her, try and cheer her up and stuff. And, I said, alright, how's it going? She said, yeah, not bad, I need a new, you know, dishwasher. Right? I was going, yeah, and she was saying, but I don't get a chance to get out these days, you know, I can't get about like I did. And all that, I'm going, yeah, it's bad that. Anyway, I go to, like, one of those big superstores where they sell all electrical stuff and that, right? I'm in there, I think, oh, I'll get her a little catalogue so she can have a look, right? Got back, gave her that, I said, there you go, whilst I was in the superstore, get you a little catalogue so you can have a look at dishwashers and that. She's over the moon, she still goes on about it. It was years ago.
What, that you got her a catalogue?
I got her a catalogue.
I thought you said you were going to buy her a dishwasher.
No, just the catalogue and that.
Oh, but your life is sort of like, just bittersweet tragedy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like something from Shameless.
I know, but it is though, because you've got in the street, and there's people knocking around with, big heads and webbed hands and webbed feet. I mean, that must have been.
Well, she's pretty weird. Anyway, this old woman, because she was.
And that's coming from you.
No. Well, after I got her the catalogue and that, she opened up a bit and she was saying how, you know, she's a bit odd anyway, because she woke up one morning with blood sort of falling on her head from a dead rabbit hanging over her. So I mean, she's a nice.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
No, that's what she went on to. She sort of opened up a bit and said,
what street? What street were you born in? Where is this place?
Is it Elm Street that you live on?
She just said a man was a witch or something, so it was like,
oh, like normal. Like you said, like it's normal.
Just a bit odd, isn't it? But you know, I mean, but talking about like where I live and all that, right? One story that I've told you before, and everyone's always like, that didn't happen, right? Just a couple of houses sort of down from where I lived, there was this family who had a horse in their house.
They what?
They had like a horse in their house. I'd been out with my dad, right? And I drove back into the, my dad was driving, he went back into the avenue, sort of went down to the bottom to turn round, to get back to our house.
Just via the OK Corral?
Just sort of did a little glance and I saw this horse being led in. Had a horse in there and stuff.
Well, have you been back to visit your street?
don't really. There's no.
Why did they have a horse in the house? I don't understand.
I don't know. I think they must have nicked it or something like that. It was a council estate in Manchester, and you know, I've told that story.
They've just been doing a bit of wrestling.
Yeah, they made the horse go in with a hoodie, and they said, "Don't cause suspicion."
Yeah.
Just like, you know, we just pretend it's our long lost brother.
Just pretend we're rehearsing a panto.
Yeah, it's two blokes. It's just two blokes in this horse. Wow. That's amazing. The little old lady who gave her a catalogue. That's very sweet. You see that? And it's just a little thought. That's your thought for the day, isn't it?
That's what
just
I'm
cheer someone up. So nip down to Argos. There's free ones stacked up. Go and hand them out to the elderly. They love it.
The Jayhawks on Radio 2, bad time, is it? I think it's called Bad Time. So we were so distracted by all the questions that come in for
These
Karl.
are great. Thank you so much for emailing and texting. They're brilliant. Here's one from Reverend Rachel Harrison. I'm also a vicar, and I'm making mince pies. We know our demographic now. We got a load of vicars listening.
Yeah, well, you know, they're good at spreading the word and that, aren't they? You know, tell people about the show and stuff.
And also mincemeat, clearly.
So, yeah, all vicars listening, spread the word. Tell them about Karl.
And have a great time tomorrow. It's your special day.
Although doesn't Karl sort of... Does Karl go against creationism or for it? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Would he have evolved or did something make it?
All I'll say to the... Would God have bothered to... Is that in God's image? I mean, that's surely the most blasphemous thing you could say.
No, Bod made him in his image.
I
He's made in the image of Bod.
Is he the one who sort of decided...
Who? God?
Are we talking about God or Bod?
God and that.
Okay.
Is he the one who decided that, you know, we should move out of the water and walk on land? Did he decide that, or once he made the little egg, did he sort of go run free? I
don't know where we are. I don't know what part of the...
Could I just say, if there are any vicars out there, could Karl come and do a sermon one day? I mean, we do a big donation to your roof, but can Karl just talk to 5 minutes to a really sort of, like an upper middle class educated parish somewhere, and Karl just comes and talks for 10 minutes.
The only time that a congregation anywhere has heckled the person doing it. Get off!
Yeah, then they're chasing to the castle, carrying pickaxe handles.
Torches. So we've got some questions for Karl.
These are amazing questions. Okay.
And just give your immediate response to them, Karl. Not too much thinking time.
Okay. What would happen if insects were bigger than us?
Who's that from?
Vicky of Milton Keynes, maybe? I don't know, it ran out. So, I don't think there is a place called Milto. It's from Vicky. Karl, what would happen if insects were bigger than us? She's going into the possible winner file there.
Would David Attenborough still like his job? Do you know what I mean? Would he start worrying? Because I've got that point, just because, you know, insects and that, he's always messing about with them, but would he be that keen to, like, 8 foot? Is what I mean.
If they look like me. Sure.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, this is a nice one. This is, from, Jason. Can Karl do something to prove you are on live and not recorded? I'm sure that will tax his little bald head to bursting point.
What's his name?
Jason.
How can you prove that we're live on air?
Come on, how could you prove that we're live on air?
Happy Christmas Eve, Jason.
No, we could have recorded this a week ago.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be Christmas Eve.
No, but...
Happy Christmas Eve, isn't it?
No, but we'd have recorded
Karl,
it and
think!
Right, it's nearly 11:45.
Yeah, but we could have started with the clock knowing that we were going to record it as live. We could have done this last Wednesday.
Alright, it's Radio 2, it's a nice day out there, sun's out.
Well, that's a guess. And do you think... Oh, it is sunny. Yeah, it is sunny, yeah.
Generally,
but hold on, wait a minute. We're in London. Someone listening in Manchester, it might be raining.
It probably is raining.
Look, he can't work out how to make sure it's live. Look at him looking up in the sky. Look at him. His head is gonna burst. There's a little bit of blood coming from his ear. How can we prove we're live?
My mum's budgie died last night.
But Oh God!
Don't laugh about it. Don't laugh.
Only your mum that can confirm that.
Yeah. No one knows whether your budgie died or not. Was he pictured holding a copy of today's paper? What are you talking about, Karl?
I can't prove anything then.
You're so right.
Next question.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh God, Karl. Where would you go if you had a time machine? That's Bob from Manchester.
Where would I go? I can go to any time.
Yeah.
And now once I get there...
Oh,
yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, what am I doing? Am I staying in the little box and just looking out of a window? Or am I...
Let's assume you can wander around.
Okay, we do both. First of all, you're wandering round.
I'm just one... And I've typed in the year.
Oh.
And to be honest, I'm not that good at history, so I don't know what happened when. So I'd be better off just sort of letting someone else have a go and asking them when they get back, just so...
Karl, where would you go? What do you fancy? Just think.
Would you like to see dinosaurs?
Would you like to see the Roman Empire? Would you like to see the 1960s? Would you like to go back and see your nan as a kid?
Shouldn't really mess with time though, should you?
No, you're not.
It's not actually going to happen. No one's actually invented one yet.
What period of history are you interested in?
Probably. I mean, I sort of like the 60s. But we still sort of, you know, we don't really...
Next question. Unbelievable. Everyone's got an answer to that. Everyone wants to know where they can go back in time,
well,
except
where would you go back in time to?
I'd go back to religious times. I'd go back to the birth of Jesus, see what was going on.
Really?
Yeah. See how the frankincense and myrrh went down.
What do you have to imagine there's a class of farting. Oh, we haven't told our kids about farting. He doesn't do it. We haven't told him about it. We don't do it in front of him. You have to learn it, do you?
No, but there's a place. That's what I was always told.
Go on.
There's a place for that.
Cornwall.
So, and my mum, you know, it's the same. She doesn't do it.
Right.
If she goes to the toilet to, you know, do what you got to do, she makes sure, like, she'll sort of say things like, "Are you going out for a walk?"
Are you going out for a walk?
Does she think? Does she know that you're broadcasting this?
Well, yeah.
She's probably around at the neighbours now, listening.
Yeah.
Any of you gone out for a walk?
Yeah, just at the door.
So she waits until everyone's left, or?
She doesn't like the thought that everyone... Do you know, like, cats don't like you staring at them when they're doing it?
I've never stared at a cat while it was doing anything.
Have you ever had a pet cat?
What do you mean? Yeah, go on.
No, it's just that cats, you know, if you get them a little litter tray...
Yeah.
I remember being told, like, no, when it does use it, don't sort of go and look at it. Because it puts it off. I was the same as a kid. When I had a nappy...
Who comes and looks at you when you're on the bottom?
No, when I was a kid and I was in a nappy, right, I used to always, like, there was a corner in the kitchen that I'd always go to. And everyone would be
Why do you go to the toilet?
Because I had a nappy on.
Oh yeah, right, how old were you?
14th birthday?
About 3 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I used to always go to this corner, and everyone said, right, he's going to the corner, don't stare at him.
The thing is, I can so imagine you, because you've got the same head.
Yeah, you look like a baby.
It's just the pain in his head. Put in there. Would you put a nappy on for 50 quid?
Now.
Yeah. I'd just sitting, just do your work, right?
Well, anyway,
sit in the corner.
So I'm not doing that, right?
Come on.
So yeah, my mum's like that, and something else she's good. I mean, people might not know.
Dinner party. Oh, that's Mrs. Pilkington just in the corner. Just don't look at her.
Yeah, don't look at Mrs. P.
She's just in the corner of our kitchen. Don't just look at her. What's she doing? She's just doing her business. There she is squatting. Are you going for a walk?
Sorry, you were saying, Karl.
Another trick I've learnt from her. Right, if you're using, say, a friend's toilet or something, and you don't want to leave your mark, just
go down the toilet and flush it.
Use take a box of matches with you.
Yes.
Set back to the curtains.
Set back the curtains calls it a distraction.
Burn the place down, have a wonderful crap, and just leave when the fire brigade get there.
I'll figure it out.
Who is it?
It's Vines.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
We don't go brilliant, do you? If you're going to talk, you do say something useful.
There you go. Vines there, homesick.
Brilliant. No, come on, we should do monkey news now, because I know you want to save it, but I think you should put your best stuff first. You never know what will happen, you know what I mean? Always put your best stuff out there.
Let me just get it out of the,
Okay, well, while he's getting it, could we have a jingle for monkey news?
Yeah. Chimpanzee that monkey news.
Tell you what, right, about putting your best stuff first.
Yeah.
Right. Do you know we were saying the other week about in Chinatown?
Not really a town.
Well, it's not a town, right? And like the restaurants, they have like
Oh, those old dead ducks and chickens just hanging in the window, yeah.
An octopus and all that, just hanging there.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, like, make you want to go in, does it?
No, sure.
This morning, walking through Soho on the way in, walked past this sort of strip joint place. This woman said, "Do you want to come in, sir?" Alright, turn round, she must have been about 80.
So, you're equating her to a hangy bit of octopus.
Well,
you said, are you performing?
And a chicken.
I'm just saying, again, put your best stuff at the front door.
Yeah, good thinking.
Right, anyway, bit of monkey news that's been sent in.
Right.
Gareth, in Catford.
Right, good work, Gary.
Basically, it's about this monkey
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in the jungle.
Yeah.
It's got a gig at an hairdresser's.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
It's got itself a nice little job going in an hairdresser's.
As what?
It gets people sitting down, and what it does before the people have their hair cut, that it sort of sits there, and it goes through people's hair, makes sure it's clean, and people are loving it.
Right,
People-
backtrack
So
slightly.
it's a pet monkey. It's nothing to do with it getting a gig in an hairdresser's. It's a pet monkey.
It's not working at Monkey and Guy.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it's in there. I think it might have started off as a job, and then
So what does it
put
say? It says junior £15, stylist £35, monkey £63.
Sorry, I didn't quite follow. It's in the jungle.
It was wandering about.
Right.
Maybe it did
But
start
it looks good, its hair looks good. Someone thought, hang
Yeah,
on.
but never ever, you see, people make that mistake with hairdressers anyway. I always say, well, if the hairdresser's got a good haircut, go to where he's going.
Right.
Right? Because that's what I thought when I read it, about having a good haircut.
How often
right?
do you go to the hairdressers?
Well, not that much anymore,
Sure.
but I used to always think that.
Yeah.
You used to go to a bloke who told me had his shack on a railway bridge that used to shake when a train went over.
Yeah.
Because it was £2.
Yeah, but before that, I've never had that much luck with hairdressers. Before that was another place, and it was run by sort of, you know, these sort of wannabe gangster type people.
Oh yeah.
But they'd, you know, you'd go in
What
for
do you mean by
haircut.
wannabe gangsters?
Well, sort of just petty crime stuff. You'd go in for a haircut and then you'd walk out with a video recorder. Do you know what I mean?
You
You'd
don't
say-
have to take it.
No, no, but they'd sort of spend ages flogging you that whilst cutting your hair. It was their thing. It's like, right, sit down, you alright?
Yeah.
Oh, you
So
know.
for the weekend, what do you think though? Maybe a Sony. Yeah.
So that's when I stopped going there, because it was like, just what a haircut, I don't want to be hassled. by
Which
stuff.
one said that you had the hair of a Chinaman?
It's a fella who worked in a railway station haircut.
Well, he should
Saloon.
know. I mean, he's been around a bit, clearly, if he runs a shack next to a railway station.
So,
Can we just go back to Monkey News for a second?
so anyway, that's all, yeah.
I didn't quite follow why he's still his salon is in the jungle, or where is it?
No, he was doing what he does in the jungle, right?
Right.
He's walking about, he wanders into the hairdressers.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have him on, like, as a job straight away, he was just there.
He was
He
training,
said, this is
yeah.
nice. He's sat there picking the nits and
Carl, I don't know where to start.
Then-
it's just that it's the embellishment. You don't he walked from a jungle to an hairdresser's. I mean, you're an idiot. You really are. I'd love to see you try and get a job in an hairdresser. If there was another monkey up for it, you'd never get a job.
So he was good at that. People said this is relaxing. Apparently he had really nice hands, soothing,
Yes.
right, on people's heads. They said, let's put him on the payroll. So
Let's put him on the payroll. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, this is the news item, is it? Customers are queuing up to have their hair done at a salon in the
There you
jungle
go.
by a monkey. Judy, a pig-tailed macaque, has a reputation as the best exterminator of head lice in Com Cane.
There you go.
She is so good, some customers fall asleep under her gentle touch. Regular Amporon Chekema said, Judy's hands are so soft and gentle, I really feel I can relax.
But you know that is doing what it does naturally. It's looking for like salt and stuff in the hair
Yeah.
and nits. It's not on the payroll. It doesn't complain about when it gets deducted at national insurance.
It's not part of the union.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But a good monkey news, you know, backed up with good tabloid journalism.
With solid
Yeah.
evidence there.
So,
Now I think we should start marking the monkey news, Rick. I don't know what you think, giving it marks out of 10 maybe. For both interest and validity.
well, for interest, I'll give it 7. For Karl's Karl believing that there was something to this monkey, thinking it had a job and getting paid.
But it was also doing kind of perms
2
and colouring.
2.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Again, ridiculous.
More monkey news next week. Hopefully let's just hear that jingle again.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news. Peace Train. Isn't that brilliant? Cat Stevens. Now, well, I've sort of enjoyed the last sort of, hour or so after disappointment of the Sonys. I think we are going to give up, to be honest. Do another week and then shoot off.
Yeah, knock it on the head.
Okay. We're only doing it for a laugh anyway. But
if they're not going to reward us for that, then
do you know what I mean?
It's not really worth it.
But I'll tell you what but what about this? Karl, can you find out who was on the panel? Can you?
But what difference does it make?
Well, I want you to interview. I want you to phone them up and I want to tell them why they didn't think our show was any good.
Let them explain themselves.
Just explain themselves. They've got to stand by their convictions. Find them all. Track them down. There's probably about 300.
What do you expect then?
I want to tell the truth.
No, you're right. The monkey news should have, done the job for you.
I just want people. I don't want to sit in a room and hide. I want the 3 people on the panel. I'll find them out to say we didn't vote for you because we thought it was shoddy, amateurish, annoying. There was too much swearing. I'll go, fair enough. Well done, mate. You. We didn't vote for you because Karl's voice is an irritant. Okay? Okay? Well done, mate. You're alright. We didn't vote for you because, Gervais, you're a fat, useless git who understands nothing about broadcasting. And your mate
Steve knows something.
yeah. And I'll go, right, I'm not so happy with that, but at least you told the truth. But get them on the phone. Find out from Andrew.
I noticed none of them have mentioned me, which is good.
I know, yeah.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. They probably all love Steve.
No one likes to pick on an invalid, though. Do you know what I mean? We got a player request here for, what's her name, don't leave it to Sonia, who's 18 today. We couldn't find William. It was really nothing wordsmith because, whoever is in charge of the library, they probably won an award for it. But, she didn't ask for 4 non-blondes, so I found There Is a Light by the Smiths. So, a week to go.
Of course, as ever, lots of questions for Karl as well, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there. Question from Jade. Karl, what would you change if you were in charge of what kids are taught in school? Right, because, your school experience was a bit iffy. You got very bored, didn't you? You got very disillusioned by school.
Yeah. What I'd do, right, is, instead of sort of teaching kids about 2 and 2 and that, she's 4, right?
Well done. Show off.
I think they should be asked more questions that make them think rather than something that has just got an answer.
I totally agree.
Right? So,
so teaching them the quest for knowledge, inflaming their imagination.
But just freaking them out a bit as well, just going like...
See, I knew that's where it was going. Because as soon as you started talking, Rick, I was thinking you're thinking some of the big existential or philosophical questions. What does it mean to be human? What does it mean to interact with other humans? To be a human.
Or teaching them sort of like philosophy on a basic level, that, teaching them the love for learning. So, get them back to a roots level so they want to learn and then they will learn, as opposed to just teaching them facts.
Whereas...
He was thinking, freak them out a bit.
Yeah.
No, just like, like I read the other day, and someone sent it in on email, like how there's a dishwasher that's been found on Mars.
Rubbish.
Whoa, what?
Right? It's not true.
So tell them that.
But it's not true.
Go home and write about it. How did that happen?
But it didn't happen.
Well, it did happen. It was in a science magazine.
No, it didn't happen. There's not a dishwasher on Mars.
Why not?
Because...
What do you mean, why not?
How did it get there?
But we're always sending, like, rubbish out there and that. It's like...
Not dishwashers. What, you think the council take it away and they go, where can we put it? Well, the tip's full. Well, where's the nearest thing we can dump this? Mars, I imagine.
No, but the same way that fella who, I don't know, was it 2 Christmases ago when he was messing about saying I can get stuff to Mars and all that, he did it wrong because he did it on, like, Boxing Day, and I just think nobody's concentrating. No one wants to work on that day. Kind of like, do you know what I mean? They're going to do stuff sort of half-arsed, aren't they, on Boxing Day? So... it didn't really get there, I don't think, but it crash-landed.
What are you talking about? What was he trying to do?
He was sending something up to Mars.
Yeah, that little fella that wanted to get something on Mars, and it got...
globe, you mean?
And it didn't open properly.
Yeah.
It got there, didn't open.
But the thing is, it got there, it didn't open properly. No one's been back to pick it up. And what I'm saying is, we're saying about going to Mars as our next planet. It's a tip. There's loads of stuff that's been flirted up there.
No, it's not.
It's just all, like, that probe thing is still there. Rotting away.
Yeah. So... ipso facto, there is a dishwasher on Mars. We've settled that. Why would they have a dishwasher on Mars? Would they take the dishwasher up in the space shuttle in case they had dinner parties? What are you talking about?
I just think they would have a little dishwasher in there. There's a lot of them, tight space. You don't want to, but who's going to do that? You know, that means...
Do you know how much fuel it takes to move a kilogram out of the Earth's atmosphere? So they're going to take up a dishwasher, are they?
Sorry, but what are they cooking up there, Karl?
How many people does it take to fly a rocket? How many people? Tell me how many people.
Well, it's either one monkey with a banana shoot that feeds it, or probably 2 or 3 humans.
Right, say it's 3 humans.
Yeah.
Now there's 3 humans because they need one to steer it.
One to stop at the petrol station to get more.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to start having a sink, then whoever's
They
washing
haven't got a
up...
sink.
I know, because they've got a dishwasher.
He's got you there.
But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But all I'm saying is, teach kids things about... Say to them, right, when you go home tonight, there was dinosaurs knocking about ages ago. How would you have lived with them? Get on with it. See you later.
Well, they didn't. I've told you this before. You got a lot of your information from the Flintstones and 1 million years BC with Raquel Welch. There weren't dinosaurs knocking around where there were little fellas knocking around in furry pants.
No, but just sort of saying to them, all right, then, here's a different question.
Go on then.
Would it be better to have dinosaurs knocking about now whilst we're here? Because I put that in my diary the other day. Like, that when you think about it, there's a population problem.
Yeah.
There's too many of us.
Yeah.
We're saving people all the time. No one's allowed to get injured anymore. You've got to, you know, wear a helmet when you're on a bike. There's speed bumps to slow people down. Zebra crossing. Cures for illnesses. No one's dying anymore, right?
Well, I think they are.
Not as many as they should be, because the world's crowded. All I'm saying is
I think there's still people dying. I think there's still people dying.
not that many, though.
Yeah, I think there's still millions of people dying.
Apparently, a handful.
Loads of people are living longer. And that's a problem.
So
what
you
I'm saying
feel that
is
you should introduce Tyrannosaurus Rex into,
wandering
say,
wandering
London, just have him wandering around, just picking people off.
That's what, just you know, just sort of random and that, because I don't know, I mean, I'm not wishing that anyone I know dies and that, but all I'm saying is, I don't know anyone who's died for ages.
Right.
Whereas if a dinosaur was knocking about, you'd go, Neil's gone missing.
Yeah.
And
Annie Nora's had her head bitten off by a...
Whatever, I just think then it is survival of the fittest, which is, we've lost all that now. You don't even have to be fit to survive. They just keep sticking a new lung on you. Or... Do you know what I mean? They can do too much now to keep people going.
They just keep sticking a new lung on you.
Question from Kevin. He says, Karl, other than the famous boxing match that you've often talked about, I know that took up about 20 minutes of your time, have you ever been in any other kind of fight? I don't suppose a slanging match. I think they're talking, have you ever been in a physical fight?
Once that I can remember. It was over a woman. Well, a girl. I was at school.
Yeah.
And it was because, like, it's hassle, innit? Right? Relationships when you're younger.
How old were you?
About 7.
It was over a woman.
Go on then. Yeah, go on.
And there was this girl knocking about who, you know, she was quite good looking, everybody liked. And my mate, he really liked her. And I didn't sort of ask her out and that, but she just sort of took a shine to me and stuff, right? And didn't really go out with her properly. It's at that age where going out with someone is just like sort of going, all right, in the morning, do you know what I mean? You just sort of nod your head.
Yeah.
And that. Anyway, there was some sort of school disco, and they were playing Spin the Bottle or something, right? And I sort of wandered over to see what was going on, and I stood on this girl's dress and put a hole in it, and she started crying. I was like, oh, I can't be doing with this, right? You know, what's up with you? It's old, what's up with you? And everyone's going, Karl, what are you doing? That's meant to be your girlfriend and that. You should be sort of saying, oh, I'm sorry, and giving her a hug and all that, and saying it'll be all right, we'll sort the dress out. I said, oh, I can't be dealing with this. Right? So she's crying her eyes out, I said, it's over, right?
Oh, it's over, you saying, all right, in the morning. Yeah.
No more of that.
Yeah, there's no more. Right. In the morning.
So I go to the toilet, right? And this lad who fancies her comes in and goes, you're out of order, you know. I'm saying, what are you on about?
Sorry, there's 2 7-year-olds. Yeah, you're out of order. Keep out.
Yeah. Cut it out. Show her a bit of bloody respect.
Sorry, were you wearing trilbies?
Yeah. He put his cigarette out in the sink and he just said, leave it.
Get out of my face.
So I just sort of said, look, why are you getting involved and all that?
Yeah.
2 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
Why are you getting involved?
And it was obviously like, because, you know, he fancied her and that. We had a bit of a fight in there. I accidentally, you know, sort of chipped his tooth on a sink.
Oh, is it like a proper...
Sorry, this is like someone from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? 2 7-year-olds in a toilet.
So you put a hole in her dress. I don't know how that... What were you wearing, football boots? How did you make a hole in her dress?
I don't know, it was like that sort of material.
You were wearing winkle pickers?
Like crepe, you know what I mean? It was like a crepe dress or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And that got a hole in it.
So you're having and when you say you're having a fight, I mean, are you wrestling with it? You got arm locks and
a little
head
bit of
locks?
wrestling and shoving about and that, and it was an accident. I didn't sort of go, right, I'm going to break your teeth or anything. It's just that I happened to push his head down, and his tooth hit the sink,
Right.
and it chipped and what have you. After that, like I sort of left there and stuff, and we had to go into assembly, and there was a copper in there doing some presentation saying, "Listen, kids, you know, don't get into trouble, because we're out there and we'll get you." Right, so sort of trying to teach the kids young not to get into any trouble and stuff. So I'm sat in the assembly room thinking, oh God, there's a copper here talking, and like my mate's going to come in a minute, like with a chipped tooth and everything. And
Questions are going to get asked.
That's what kind of happened. I mean, the coppers didn't get involved.
Yeah.
Did you turn your back on violence after that then?
Yeah. He said, "You'll never take me alive, copper."
So yeah, that was the sort of last fight.
Brilliant.
Some of the questions coming in now, Rick, are just, I don't know what they're intending. What response they're hoping for, really. This is one from Rob. He just says, I was just wondering, what are Karl's views on the human appendix?
What do you think, Karl? What do you think of the human appendix?
Never worried about it.
Well, no, I think Rob's point is that it's sort of pretty redundant now.
So this is kind of what we've talked about before, where...
He always says that. He always says something like, "Oh, we've talked about this before," and the thing that he's talked about is nothing like it.
What I mean is, we've obviously interfered somewhere along the way, and
we have interfered. Yeah,
well, we shouldn't have done, because it's the same way. Like, if we didn't have planes and that, would we have wings now? If we'd have needed to get about, would we have had wings?
No, the answer's no. Next.
No, but you say that, but look at the way...
Because he's right, he says it because he's right.
No, but all I'm saying is you see that little picture of like an ape to man.
Yeah.
At first, they're crawling about on all fours because probably you're looking for food, so you want to be down there. So
Right.
if you're on both legs, you're missing stuff that's on the floor.
What sort of time period do you think this... Because, I mean, we started, dabbling with a plane maybe 100 years ago. So what sort of time period do you think this little thing who's scrabbling around looking for food stood up and
I don't
walked?
know. I sort of don't worry about time. Sort of
Well, I'll tell you now, we
behind
wouldn't have
Rome.
wings now. If the Wright brothers had said, "Oh, forget it," we wouldn't have wings now. There
Now, Rick, am I right in saying that Karl himself made the news this year? Because wasn't it right that a friend of your girlfriend's had read about him? Apparently, you were slagging off Cornwall somewhere.
Yeah, my girlfriend used to live in Cornwall, and you were the front sort of story on something like the Western something or other edition, slagging off Cornwall.
What are you on about?
What have you been up to?
What have you said? What have you said about Cornwall?
I haven't said anything. I like Cornwall.
Yeah, but you must have said something, or they wouldn't have they mentioned Karl Pilkington.
You've been slagging off, apparently.
I love Cornwall. I love going there.
What have you ever said anything about it negative?
What was that thing? Oh, didn't you slag someone off at Mevagissey? You went into a pub in Mevagissey.
Yeah, and he was airy. That's that one fella. There was a sort of... I went in there, and they're really friendly and everything in Cornwall.
Yeah.
If you're listening,
Don't creep.
No, but I like it. If I wanted to retire and that early, that's where I'd go and live.
I wouldn't now.
But I went there, right, in this little place called Mevagissey, and went into a pub, and the woman behind the bar was all friendly and going, it was around Christmas time, and she said, oh, what we normally do is like have a fancy dress and stuff. She said, yeah, I'll show you some pictures, right? And she was going through, and there was a picture of someone there, and I said, God, what's he come as? Look at him, he's well airy. And she said, oh, he just works behind the bar, he wasn't dressed as anything. And he came out round the corner, airy fella. but there's no way that made the paper.
Have you said anything else negative about it?
When was the last time you were in Cornwall?
It was... We took someone for a wedding present, we took someone on holiday there for a week. There was a fella on the beach who, he worked in one of them huts, you know how they sell deck chairs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's a pretty nice job, especially in the summer, innit? The sun's out, you sat there, all you've got to do is talk to people, say, what do you want, 2 deck chairs? There you go, no problem, see you later. But this fella, right, I went in there, got the chairs, took them back, he was being really moody. He said, so you got a lot of sand on them. I said, well, there's loads of it out there. It's not a surprise that he's stuck on, and he had a bit of a moan at me. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned that sort of...
Well, maybe he recognised you.
But that isn't a diss, that's one person, isn't it?
If you're from Cornwall and you've got any reason to
dislike Karl... But there's not many people live in Cornwall, it's a very small community. I mean, no wonder they don't want to be part of us, with people like you slagging them off.
I love Cornwall, got nothing
So do I think Cornwall's beautiful. You're an idiot. Don't, anyone in Cornwall, do not judge the rest of the nation by Karl Pilkington. It's not fair. I sometimes wonder imagine if he's the one that archaeologists dig up in a million years' time.
Yeah.
And find some of his notes, and they measure the head and everything, and then some of the ramblings that he did. Do you know
Or
what
if an alien comes down, it would just be him that they'd bump into.
That would be just our luck, wouldn't
I'll
it?
tell you what though, talking of like education and that, I know I'm sort of not the brightest bloke knocking about and that, right? But I treat myself the other day to a new mobile, right? And you know, going through it, getting used to how to send text and all that. And do you know the predictive text?
Yeah.
So if you send a text, you type it in, and that sort of guesses what you're going to write out, right? And it's new, so it doesn't really know me yet, right? And I was sending a text to someone to say something like, "I ain't got a clue" or something, right? Wrote "ain't," right? A-I-N-T. Looked up at the screen to make sure that he'd written it right. That had written up biotechnology.
What?
That had predicted that I was going to use the word biotech. I am never going to use that word. Ever.
What? I ain't got a clue?
No, ain't. A-I-N-T.
Yeah.
I wrote that, just A-I-N-T on the phone. Looked up.
I love the fact that you've got a cleverer phone than you. Song for lovers.
People have been wondering whether the show is live or if it's pre-recorded. Well, if it weren't live, then how could Grace email in telling us how much she hates the show?
Brilliant.
She says, "Dear Ricky, I think you are a prat."
She's got my attention already.
She opens with that, comes in straight away.
That's her opening gambit.
But she doesn't just leave it there, she qualifies it. She says, all you do is slag people off on your show and think it's funny. I disagree. We've slagged off Karl.
Yeah.
But he's pretty much the only one.
But Karl, all I've said is you are stupid, and, I mean, by your own admission, you must know you're stupid, don't you?
Well, you know, we'll get by on that, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a fair comment, isn't it? And the other people we slagged off are people who like to see foxes ripped to pieces, so which I stand by.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
I'm sick of listening to you be rude about the world and certain people. Rude about the world? Are we being rude about the world? Well, anyway, I have to turn off the radio. I'm surprised anyone listens to you. Please try growing up.
Oh, she missed her dedication.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
What annoys me with Grace is that,
Nothing annoys me about Grace. Careful what you're doing.
all I say is I think she's, no, I'm saying she's,
and?
I'm saying, Rick, she should have criticised us for the obvious problems. We're incompetent.
We're not very good
not
at all.
entertaining. We've drone on too much.
Yeah, but we don't slag off the world. We love the world. We love the world and Karl. In fact, the thing is about the world and Karl is that he's the same shape as the world, and that's why I like him, because that's all you need there, a little round...
I can't help but think the pot calling the kettle black there, Rick.
What? My body's round. My head is sort of fat and square. So how dare you?
Just quickly before we move on to the final bit of the sermon, we just thinking back to some of the other highlights of the year. One of mine, Rick, I'm sure one of yours, Live 8.
Live 8 was great fun.
Not only was it a great day, but obviously it made its message very much clear and open to the world. Did you enjoy Live 8, Karl?
Yeah, it was alright. It's, you know, quite a good thing. I mean, has it sorted the problems out, or...?
Well, it's more about raising awareness, isn't it, and bringing that to the world's attention.
I'm aware of it, so yeah, it's sort of done the job on that. Well, I read something about,
Unbelievable.
do you know, but, you know, because Live 8 was all about money and stuff, wasn't it, giving money and
No, it wasn't really.
Well...
It was about awareness, but it was about, the G8,
dropping the debt.
cancelling the debt to the, I think, the 20th poorest nations or something, which I think...
Yeah. Well, then I was reading up on that, and there was something about, do you know Bill Gates?
Yeah.
Who did, the computer stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's the
Microsoft.
wealthiest man in the world or
Absolutely,
something.
I think the first 100 billionaire.
Wow.
Was he?
That is a lot of money, because they worked out, they put to him that, with his labour, what his labour's worth, he would have to drop over $6,000 to be bothered to pick it up.
Wow.
And they asked him, and he said, well, of course I pick it up, you know, because it doesn't work like that. But yes, he's that rich.
But he could just pay someone to do it as well, couldn't he?
Okay, get on with it, Karl. Again, you've missed the point. Again, you've missed the point.
But all I'm saying...
Sorry,
right,
Gracie, in wherever you are, Karl's an idiot, and I stand by it.
Bill Gates...
And don't rip foxes to pieces.
He's got that much money, right? He's saying that he could give everyone in the world, right, £6.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, right? And just what I was thinking and what I would to say to you, see what you think, right? Do you think it's fair that everybody gets £6?
Right, why? What's your point?
What do you mean? You should mean the poor should get more?
Well, no, not really. What I mean is, say like if you live in Africa, right?
Yeah.
You can get a lot more for, say, £1 there than you can in London. So what I'm saying is, rather than £6 each,
Yeah.
maybe give people in London a tenner each. In Africa or whatever, give them about £3, £3.50.
So you're saying, give the poorest people less, so they can get as much for their money in their Argos.
Yeah, basically.
You're saying, if you were to redistribute wealth, you'd give the poor people slightly less than the rich people because they've got a higher standard of living. Gracie, once again, can I come back to you on this? Do you know now why I call her dear? Oh, you know what I like about Gracie? She told the truth and she put her name. It's Grace, actually. She put her name down. Some people, I mean, just say you're a prat and they don't even tell
you across the street. Hey, fat man, you're not funny.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I rest my case. Karl, you're an idiot.
Alright.
Robert Post and a song called Got None, one of my favourites of the year. It's almost the end of this. Radio 2, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
It's been a pleasure doing these 2 specials. If we're invited again, keep your emails coming. Not Grace. Keep your emails to yourself.
Yeah.
No, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Please send them in, and we learnt something, haven't we, Karl? No, he hasn't.
Well,
okay, good. It was a long shot.
Yeah.
It was, you know what I mean?
Chances were slim.
Yeah, I know. But we've been doing a sermon because, we've got a lot of vicars listening for some reason. And think of that. We're hardly their pin-up. Oh, you know what I mean? The vicar's going, oh, I must listen to that show. It's so cool. And there was a thing in the, I think the Mirror this week about, vicars are now, podcasting, and they're, doing their sermon, as a podcast and download for busy people who can't go to church all the time. And they had the chart of the what's the #1 podcast in the world?
Well, I think it's, Ricky Gervais podcast.
Yeah, it is. It is. #1 in the world. Yes, it is. So that's why we're doing this. In fact, you should do a full version of this and put it on. Yeah, let's do it.
No, forget
for
that.
people who can't, because this is valuable, time, and Grace doesn't want to hear it. So, just do the final, I suppose, what would you call this? Summing up of the Bible, then we do a longer one.
Well, no, it's not sort of summed up. Because, to be honest, after the Noah bit and stuff, I was a bit like, oh, this.
Oh, just do it. Just do it. Okay, this is the final episode of the Bible. Well, the greatest story ever told.
No, but it's not the final chapter. This is just another bit in it that I thought I can relate to.
Get to the end.
You couldn't even read a children's Bible. I had to go to Waterstones and ask 2 people for, and they put it in a brown paper bag.
It was 200 and odd pages and that.
Oh.
So, the one that I picked up on, right, that I could relate to.
Okay.
Do you know, Samson and Delilah?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what happened in that?
Yes.
Right, well, just in case you haven't heard the story of Samson and Delilah, what it is, I think God had a word with, some bloke, I can't remember his name, I think it's Manoah or something his name was.
Right.
He said, listen, I'm still having problems, Adam and Eve let me down.
He didn't say that, by the way. Anyone listening, at no point has God ever said, Adam and Eve let me down.
No,
anyway.
and then he had a word with Noah, he did the boat thing, so he said, I can't ask for 2 favours, right?
Sure.
So he asked this other bloke, Manoah.
He was happy with Noah, though, was he?
Yeah, he let him go on, though. It's like jury service, once you've done it, you're left alone for a bit, aren't you? So anyway,
he didn't bother getting the fish on the boat, did he?
I don't know.
They were happy, weren't they? Surely.
But anyway,
although was it salt water everywhere? Why didn't the freshwater fish die out?
Rick, I'm just going to stop you there because you've still got to get monkey news in before 1 o'clock.
So he had a word with this fella, and he said, look, what I'm going to do, you're going to have a kid soon. It's going to be a little boy, right? And when he grows up, he's going to sort out my problems. So it was like a long-term plan that he had sorted, right? So anyway, they have the kid, right? They're happy. They've got a little baby boy. They go, right, what we'll do to show our respect to God, we'll never cut his hair. Right? Because he'll like that, right?
We're still in the Old Testament, aren't we?
I don't think Jesus is going to make an appearance.
So they called him Samson, right? And he grew up, right? Never cut his hair. His hair made him strong, right? He was going about, he was helping people out, he was stopping wars and that because he was so strong. His hair made him strong and that, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, nobody knew that. Nobody knew it was his hair that did the job. So, this is right so far, isn't it?
I don't know the ins and outs.
So anyway, what happened is, women are loving him all of a sudden. He's got nice long hair and that, he looks the part, he's stopping problems. Women are going, he's a good fellow, isn't he, this Samson bloke?
Like Stringfellow.
Anyway.
That's the power of pulling, is in Stringfellow's hair.
Yeah.
That's why he never cuts it.
Exactly.
Whatever the decade, Peter Stringfellow never cuts his hair, because that's where the power lies.
Anyway, he didn't realise he had this power until one day, he got up, right, did his hair and that, went out, a lion jumped out.
Oh.
He killed it with his hands, with his bare hands.
Why?
Right? So again, Noah was a bit annoyed, because that's one of the ones that he saved. But anyway, right, so he goes, I can't believe this power I've got, right? I'm gonna, like, sort out the world's
Didn't the
problems.
lion have long hair, though, as well? Well, no, we'll just... Just what?
No, but you're always picking on to be honest though, that's as far as I got anyway. So
that's it. So if you were interested by those, you can buy the Bible in all good bookshops and read the rest. Is that what you're saying?
Or any religious book.
Yes.
We don't
remember the Torah, the Quran.
Somewhere Only We Know by Keane on BBC Radio 2. Right, it's that time again. It's what the nation's been waiting for.
Yeah.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Right, this is something that I do know about. All right, if monkeys have been up to anything in the world, this is what I'm on. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm on top of this. This one, it's pretty recent. Monkey was knocking about New York.
Oh yeah.
He got locked up for like nicking stuff and all the rest of it, right? Anyway, that's the
I don't know where that's the pointless.
Well, hang on, Steve, does that?
But you know what I mean? If that's the opening gambit, if I don't come in there, when do I come in?
Right,
I mean, if I don't pick him up on that, when do I come in?
Steve, I can show you the original.
Nicking stuff.
Anyway, so he worked on a plan to escape.
Oh, shut up!
Right, and he'd worked it all out. He saw the bloke with the keys and that.
How do we know this? How do we know this?
This isn't even the main bit of the story. I wouldn't even worry about it.
Because please. No, because he's embellished and it's.
So anyway,
I said this before. I'm going to say it now. You do not interrupt the news. It's the news.
So anyway, right. So the monkey gets out. He's roaming about free. Word gets out that he's escaped and that, right? The copper, I think his name's PC Wilcox of NYPD, right?
Police Constable Wilcox of the New York Police Constable Wilcox.
Leave it.
Yeah.
We've only got a few minutes left, please.
Dixon of Queens.
So he got a call to sort of assist, you know, this monkey roaming about.
PC Wilcox of the New York PD.
Ricky!
Because they were having problems catching it. Right?
So he was called in.
So he was out on his motorbike looking what's going on. Anyway, cut a long story short, he manages to catch up with the monkey. Right.
Why did the monkey have a car?
He got it in like a little alleyway.
Why did the monkey steal a car, Carl?
Anyway, so he had him, he gave him the rights and everything, you know, everything he used to say and all that business. He said,
whoa,
Steve.
Monkeys don't talk.
So
Carl,
Steve.
Carl, monkey, he didn't need to say anything you say, maybe take it down.
So anyway,
Carl, look
Steve,
at me as well.
No,
Carl,
I'm just telling Steve because he's listening.
But, Carl, think of what you're saying.
Put stuff down. So anyway, the cop, you know, the monkey's like, fair cop, right? He's on the back of the motorbike being taken back to the station.
Yeah.
Oh, God!
Anyway, Wilcox gets a call on
PC Wilcox,
on the radio.
Sure.
Saying, you know, listen, there's been another problem.
Oh, no.
Right? Will you...
There was a diversion, there was a gang.
There was a gang. Right?
Oh.
So he said, can you go and sort it out? And he's like, well, I've got a monkey on my back. He said, well, take it with you.
Was he on drugs?
So anyway...
Isn't that what junkies say?
So he goes down to the scene where it's all kicking off. Monkey's just sat on the motorbike thinking, I'm not going to try and get away. It'll just make the matter worse, right? He sat there. The gang...
Hold on, was he wearing a crash helmet?
The gang, sort of, you know, he saw all that going off. Copper goes up.
Sorry, was this a gang of humans?
So anyway, it's kicking off, right? There's a gang, and they're all having a fight and what have you. Anyway, it gets out of hand because Wilcox, even though he sort of helps out the person who was being beaten up, he walks off, the gang starts picking on the copper.
Oh no.
So, the monkey thinks, best help out here.
Oh!
He goes up, right?
No.
Anyway, cut a long story short.
Yeah.
They let the monkey off, he got keys to the city. Steve,
how did he help out the policeman?
Have a look at that. Have a look. There's the facts.
It's not facts. It never happened.
That's the fact.
I mean, everything about it's wrong. Everything about it is nonsense.
Steve?
Well, all I say is there's a picture here of a monkey brandishing a gun. If that's not truth, if that's not fact,
have a look.
Then there it is right there.
What is it? Should we have some real news?
Well, what is
that? I'm dumbfounded by that monkey news.
But it's all there, Steve.
Okay, well, I'm going to give it a full assessment.
Let's see if there's the news coming up. See if there's any stories like that in this. Right, on 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC.
Thanks for listening.
There was this, thing started, I saw it in the paper about 15 years ago. A guy put an advert in a local paper, I think it was in Sheffield, saying, I've been reincarnated. I was a cow at the birth of Jesus. Is anyone else out there that was reincarnated? It was the birth of Jesus. Fella got in touch, said I was a cow too, and they started a society called Cattle for Christ. Just the two of them. I don't know where they held their annual general meetings. I mean,
I wonder if that's still going.
I don't know. But imagine if you were at the birth of Christ and they're going, oh, do you remember? He goes, yeah, but I couldn't quite see. There was just a bit of wood in it. I didn't really see that. I remember the men, they were arguing over spending.
All I could see was your backside.
I know, yeah. So, think of that, Carl. Okay, final question. Right, okay. Carl, if you could, travel back in time to ancient Rome and take one modern invention with you to set yourself up as a god king, what would it be? What would you take back? That's from Amy. Sorry, Arvy in London.
Going back to Roman times.
Yeah, so what would you take back to make sure that you were king? Would it be a weapon? Would it be,
yeah, a weapon is pretty violent times, won't it? Yeah, I'll have a weapon if that's
well, what though?
Gun. Have a gun, take that.
And what would you do with it once you were there?
Well, I'd probably, I don't like killing animals and that, but they used to use tigers a lot, so shoot one of them in the head. No, because
there's no explanation why.
No explanation for it. I love him. Okay, look, we've got to give this. I think can Karl do something to prove you're live?
Yeah, you completely foxed him. There was nothing he could think of in his tiny little brain to prove that this is live.
So, I think little Jason wins the Coldplay collectibles and, some other stuff. So, well done. He still can't prove it. He still can't prove it.
Play a tune, then we'll have some,
you could have just picked up today's paper and read the headline. Think! Karl, we have just had, a communique from Gillian Oliver, who's the communications director for the Church of England. Yeah. Okay, she wants to take you up on your offer. She would like to take you to Manchester and let you give a sermon.
About what?
Well, don't you think that's she's in charge of the press and communications for the Church of England, and you've got to do this, Karl, for my sake. I'll go to church if you do this.
I've been. I didn't really like it. I had to go once to church. It was years ago when I was a kid, and I swore. Right, my mate Jamie said, "Right, if you don't come with me to church, because he was Catholic, he had to go." Right? So if you don't come with me now, I'm going to tell your mum that you swore. And that.
That's how to get people into church.
So I went. Right. Didn't enjoy it. Sort of got kicked out in the end because I was bouncing my tennis ball in the aisle and it rolled down.
I better tell Gillian Oliver that may happen again.
Yes.
That's if you don't take your yo-yo or your Ninja, you've got to do it. I'm going to make sure, we want a campaign. Please, email us if you want, Karl to do a sermon. And, I'm sure we can film this and put it on the web for you to see. Oh, please do a religious sermon.
Listen, we've barely got any time now for Monkey News. Now, a lot of people are probably, unfamiliar with Monkey News because it's the first time we've been on Radio 2. Rick, how would you summarise Monkey News? I mean, obviously, Karl is fascinated by monkeys.
Karl believes everything he reads. He goes on websites that don't get verified at all. It's mostly nonsense, but he believes it because there's about monkeys doing incredible things. And Karl thinks that monkeys can one day talk. He wants to live in the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
basically.
that's his dream.
He thinks the Flintstones is a documentary. And Karl, let's do Monkey News.
Right, the jingle. Do the jingle live.
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News.
Right, well, I thought we'd go for sort of a Christmas feel, right? So, this one, it happened in Stockholm, right? A couple of years ago, around the Christmas time. There's this little grotto, right?
Everything he says is funny, isn't it?
A little grotto was set up and stuff, right? And, it was getting busier and busier, right? This little grotto, there was only one in Stockholm, right? Queue was massive and stuff.
Well, that's not true.
And this,
that's not true. There's not one.
Fine, just listen.
But that's not true. A couple of years ago, if you just said 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, it was busy in that. And there was this bloke who had a kid, and the kid was saying, Dad, can I go and see, Father Christmas in the grotto?
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want to join that queue, it's too big, right? And loads of the Father Christmases who was in the booth, they kept jacking it in because the queue was that big.
What do you mean loads of Father Christmas in the booth? What
because
booth?
They got through loads in the grotto, the Father Christmas and that, right? They couldn't act the pressure of the queues. The queues were massive for this grotto.
This is rubbish!
Right, so they kept getting through, like, loads of Father Christmases.
They just kept walking
different
off.
people, they kept saying, I can't handle this, you'll have to get a new one in, right?
Right, okay.
Anyway, so this fella, right, the kid kept asking every day, can we go in there? He said, no, look, the queue's big. Anyway, one day, the queue was suddenly a lot shorter. Right, because they got a new little Father Christmas fella.
Right, in the grotto. Karl, if this Father Christmas turns out to be about 3'6" and hairy.
So anyway, right, so he's going, come on then, we'll join the queue, right, so he joins the queue, and he's you know, the queue's going down really fast, people are going in and out really quick, and he's going, how's he managing to do this, right? And he sort of looks through the curtain, he can just see a little slight thing, and he can see the bloke who's, like, dressed up as Father Christmas, he's handing them out with his hands and his feet, and that, right? So they're going, no, look, if you don't...
I'm going to die!
Anyway, so...
Please don't interrupt the news, Rick. I want to hear the news. No,
so he's queuing up, right, and he's going, oh, he's good on him, you know, he's got a new method of handing out the presents and that. Whilst he's queuing there, there's a little fella selling, chestnuts. So he thinks, oh, I'll buy some of them, and, you know, something to munch on whilst I'm in the queue and stuff.
Yeah.
And, so anyway, he's queuing up, he's eating the chestnuts, comes to his turn, right?
It's absolute rubbish.
What are you on about?
It's absolute rubbish.
So
cut long story short, you reckon that they hired a chimp to hand out presents for Christmas?
And so he brought the chestnuts in and the monkey attacked him and
he went off, right? And he's going, why is it all going mad? And
you're talking rubbish.
There's a little fella that sat there with like a little beard on and that.
Yeah, you're talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish.
Well, it's not worth me carrying on then.
No, it's not worth you carrying on, because again, it's absolute rubbish. That didn't happen. There's no way they'd hire a chimp, and there's no way people would go, they'd notice, they'd see it was a chimp!
Forget it.
They'd say it was absolute rubbish. If you wanna, find out more about Karl, what's the website address, Karl?
bbc.co.uk.
And I've drawn a little picture that you can win of Karl, and it really sums him up.
Alright. See you later then. Right? Next week, innit?
Yeah. Badly drawn boy on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky James, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. I'll tell you what, the Sonies then.
Oh,
this Thursday at the Grosvenor House Hotel.
Yeah.
Everyone in Radios Anyone has entered their show in different categories, saying, oh, you know, they get it down to, you know,
winners this year included the brilliant Dominic Mohan, former showbiz editor of The Sun.
Lots of people won. Lots of people won gold. Lots of people won silver. Lots of people won bronze. We didn't get a sausage.
Nothing.
This show was deemed not worthy of anything. I mean, not a look-in. The panel looked at it and said, well, no, definitely not.
Radio.
Didn't get a vote. See, that annoys me on so many levels. Let me tell you, one, right? I've never complained about losing an award. Okay, ever. Yeah, mainly in TV. I know we've won a lot, but we've been beaten by Peter Kay. Good luck to him. He's brilliant. Beaten by Phoenix Nights and sitcom. A lot of people like that more than the Oscars, vice versa, right? No qualms. But the shoddy shite that I heard that night beating us, I was furious. I don't understand. There's people regional, it sounds like hospital radio, right? I mean, I shouldn't even be on XFM. I thought, you know, it's beneath me.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, give them a hand, right? Let's show them. And I want to know who the panel was as well. I do not believe it. How can they I was looking back over some of the shows, right, before I go, Karl, and I've just done a little excerpt of, you know, a trailer of what we do, what we're about, and I don't know how the panel could overlook it. Play a bit, Karl, please. Shaking her muff, minge and tits around does not make her a hoe, then what does?
These kids at school with big heads.
Karl, what are you talking about?
Shut! Oh, my name is Holy Fuck.
Right, there's this monkey that, was on a train station.
Right.
What if you mean cock to mean penis?
But it was my Down syndrome son.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
So we've still got monkey news coming up.
You're an idiot! You know what I mean?
That's, to me, quality broadcasting.
I don't know how they can say that isn't worthy.
That's what we sent in to the Sony people. They listened to that. How they didn't think that was dynamite stuff. It doesn't make sense. You know, I've been thinking about this since Thursday, because I've been a little bit down in the dumps.
Yeah.
What I think it is that with the TV show, the TV stuff we've done, we put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
We get the script, we got the script, we spend a lot of time on it. What this show is about, it's very much about spontaneity, it's about our personalities, and I don't think we're ever going to win an award for our personalities. I think that's where we're going.
Do you know
wrong.
what I think? I think that when we're together, with the auteurs of The Office, and, you know, and we're strong on it, and we're just two, we write it, we direct it, you know, we cast it, we even worry about the font and stuff on the, you know, we do everything. There's a weak link in our midst, I think.
On the radio show?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm just trying to think what the common factor is, because on the award-winning TV show, it's just you and I.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what, can we play a record, and let me think about this, because there must be something
There's got to be a factor
that isn't in The Office that's in this, that means that The Office is award-winning, and this is a pile of shite. Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with Steve Merchant, and with us, Karl Pilkington, the third member of this team. Me and you do The Office.
Award-winning.
Yeah, and us three do this show.
No awards. Nothing.
Karl, what are your thoughts? What do you think's wrong with the show? Why do you think the panel listened to our show and said that is awful, it's not actually a radio show?
Well, can I just point out, so many people may not realise that last year we won a bronze, so we've actually gone down, we've actually slid off the list entirely.
I know, but I mean, but Karl wasn't really as involved last year.
Well, I remember last year, it was very much you and I.
I mean, we just started out on it, so I mean, so you can't really compare. Hold on, though.
Well, interesting.
What do you think, Karl? What do you think the reason is?
Thoughts, Karl?
Any thoughts?
I see what you're getting at, right? But
You're not stupid.
But when I put the compilation together, I made sure that it was mainly you two. So don't be doing that. Don't be playing that game.
So you put the compilation together?
Yeah.
Right, again.
Ah, right, interesting, because
we were involved with that.
We usually do The Office, edit The Office and everything, we have the final cut on The Office. So you... Oh, I see, so you... Oh, right, no, so you're the producer.
You had your fingers all over it, interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. So, so
the tape was the smoking gun, and whose fingerprints were on it? Karl Pilkington's,
yeah. That's interesting, we didn't get a sausage. But, do you know what, seriously though,
well, I don't mean seriously, it is his fault.
I know, but I mean, it's our fault as well, because we should have known better, right? But...
Than to employ him, yeah.
But, I actually think it's a slap in the face. I want to know who the panel was, a lot of Sony are thinking, just handing it out to the same old people. You know what I mean? Every clip they played was a funny phone call. Do you know what I mean? And so,
Did we send any of our funny phone calls in?
So if anyone cares, I think we should knock this on the head as a protest against Sony. As I say, I've never complained before about it, but I mean this one, don't know what they think. I want someone on the panel, if it was entertainment, I want someone on the panel to phone up and say why they think this show is rubbish.
Well, I'll apologise.
Well, I'll not apologise if they stand by if they tell me why, because, listening to that clip there, I can't see anything wrong with that as sort of, daytime radio.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't think, our number one fan, Dickie Anderson, Richard Anders, was, on the panel, although he here has emailed in. He's got a couple of thoughts as to maybe why we...
What is Dickers doing, man?
Dickers says, commiserations on not winning a Sony. I can't believe you didn't win, naturally. I mean, apart from your show's obvious lack of quality and effort, having a monkey for a producer, offering the biggest load of tat as competition prizes, saying hairy Chinese kid 48 times every show, Rockbusters, not bothering to turn up for weeks on end, only having 3 listeners, introducing the comedy characters Camp David, Harry Fook, which I think he spelt wrong there, Stephen Merchant. I'm not a character. Apart from insulting every race, religion and sexual orientation, bickering like schoolgirls...
We haven't done everyone yet! We have not insulted everyone yet! There's loads to go.
Despite the fact you generally bring misery into the lives of anyone who listens, I thought you were surefire winners. Better luck next year.
Well...
I mean, a couple of constructive, criticisms there, but generally, I still can't nail it.
Was he on the panel?
Well, I don't think so. Well, he's a fan, so...
Yeah. Well, no, he's clearly a fan. I mean, he obviously loves the show. Because he's... I mean, he has hit the nail on the head.
Oh.
Which...
Yeah.
But, what should we do? Should we give up or should we try harder? That's always my dilemma in life.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I've always gone for the first one.
Give up?
Yeah, why bother?
Yeah.
If they can't see, just give us the award. And then worry about it later and we won't let them down.
Yeah.
Now, they've got blood on their hands. We're gonna...
Yeah.
What should we do? To give a couple of months notice?
I think so.
Okay, well, there you go.
I mean, seriously, I mean, I think...
I'm not being serious, I'm not being wacky now. We haven't told Andrew, but...
I think we've won our course with this show.
Yeah. So okay, we'll give it a month, and it's because the Sonys didn't give us anything. Play a record.
Yeah.
There you go.
You gotta do a bit longer than that.
No, we haven't. Got to give a month's notice.
No, you gotta work till about September if you're gonna...
No, we haven't. No, we can give a month's notice. We'd, whatever they give the money back or something.
Well, you give your money back.
Yeah, I know. What are you gonna spend your 80 quid on?
True.
By the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. So, a few more shows.
And
I hope Sony are happy. They should encourage, we've only been radio, a couple of years.
Exactly. You encourage young talent like you.
Yeah. Instead of giving it to Radio 1 and Radio 2 and...
The old war horses. We just had a quick email. I wonder if you could answer this. It's James from NWM. He says, Ricky, is Karl going to be on this week's show? Please let me know, as I may listen if he's not. Sadly, he is here. I mean, people are already turning against you, Karl, because they've seen what's happened.
Yeah.
I think they've probably realised that
I think we gave him too much. I think we've got a spoiled sort of kid in our hands. It's sort of like, you know, we knew how bad he was, but we were trying to sort of bring him out of his shell a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to encourage sort of, children like Karl.
Well, yeah, exactly.
To sort of fend for themselves. But I like the fact that Dickie Anderson had that wonderful rant. I mean, it was an articulate email. It was quite long, and he must have typed it immediately. I'm thinking, because he's a fan of the show and he thinks I'm a genius, we need a PA.
Sure.
Don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you reckon he'd come and work for us?
Well, he can't be any worse than what we've already got.
I know.
You know.
So, there you go then, we're giving up radio. We're gonna concentrate on television. Karl's gonna probably go back to what, just doing your sound?
The thing I won a silver for at the Stonys. Funny that, isn't it?
Oh, you won a silver, did you?
I got a silver, yeah.
Oh, yeah, what was that
for doing the proper job that I do here in the week.
Well, no, there's 2 of you for a start.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 of us. Can't even get a bronze. Now, who's the weak link? Right?
Well,
Bit weird, isn't it?
let's not argue. We haven't got many shows to do.